Good morning, friends. This is Jagrati for Sitare TV. We are covering an excellent education event at ICC Milpitas. It's called as McDonald's Education Expo, helping the students to grow, make the right choices, and provide them the necessary support. As you can see, there are a lot of vendors here. So today, I'll take you through the glimpses of this event, how the students are being helped at the Education Expo. It's a pleasure to cover this event on behalf of Sitare TV. This is Sitare TV and the man of the moment who has made everything possible today. What a divine and what a nice event. Because in India, Vidya Dan is the best Dan, and giving education is making the society strong and next level. And our future is becoming strong because of providing the right education. And what an event you've organized. How did this idea come to you? By the way,
Okay.
This is Mr. Murarka from India West, and he's with us on Sitare TV. So, Murarka
All
ji,
the people watching Sitare TV, hello.
Murarka ji, tell us how did this idea come to you?
Well, actually, it's not my idea. It's mostly McDonald's. McDonald's was asked by the corporate company to reach out to each ethnic community and do this event as a community outreach program. So now the misconception is that the thing is financed by the corporate office in Illinois. It's actually not. It's financed by the local franchisees of McDonald's, of Indian origin. So they approach those franchisees and say, can you guys put up the funds? And then they need a major media partner, and they chose India West because they know that we've been around in the community for 41 years now. So this is how they approached me, and I said, of course, it's a no-brainer. For 5 years back is when we did the first event. It was a big success, and since then we've been doing it every year now.
So this is 6th year?
Fifth.
So this is 5th year of Education Expo, and very importantly, this is all financed by the local McDonald community, which especially NRI community. Murarka ji, Indian community is, most of it is immigration.
Right.
In last 10-15 years, we have seen a humongous growth of Indian community migrating from India, and they are contributing very positively to the economy of California. But looking at our education back in India and here, it's a big difference. What do you suggest to parents who are coming here, how they should take advantage of this expo so they can work with the student or the kid to make a right decision?
Well, the main theme of the event is, now let's say you're in high school and you're about to graduate. So are you going to start applying to colleges by how do you select? So the whole purpose of this event is to guide them how to select the appropriate college. Now, it's not, once you selected, okay, everybody wants to go to Harvard, Stanford, Columbia, etc., right? But it's not easy to get in. So then these vendors are here going to teach you how to improve your scores, how to improve your chances of getting in, and what is the little edge that you need if two students are at equal par, with the exact same scores, etc. What is it, the little extra edge that you need? Is it extracurricular activities? Is it your essay? So these are the things that the vendors today will be guiding the aspiring students today.
Wow, that's very interesting. Murarka ji, when it comes to the NRI community, we are always doctors and engineers. This venue also going to introduce the parents to something other than becoming doctors and engineers? Do they also educate them what other things lie as a venue for kids to grow and make a different career?
Most certainly, yes. There is a company here called, and right behind you, ID Tech. These people actually teach you how to code, how to write apps, even before you graduate from school.
Wow.
At such a young age. So it's a well-known fact that the most successful people today, even in the Indian community, are the self-starters. You know, when you do a startup company, they are the ones who do better than engineers, better than doctors. Somebody comes and buys them 20 million, 30 million, and you got a young billionaire very soon. So,
And just in a short, can you explain us what kind of vendors are here today, and how did you select this vendor should be here?
well, basically we were guided towards them, but as each year we got more and more popular, they started coming to us.
Okay.
So now we have more vendors applying than we have room for.
Okay.
And then Diana actually who was here just a while ago, she selects based on their reputation and whether they've been with us before. Most of them are just returning.
Right.
So we have one or two new ones, but by and large they are just returning.
How much is the attendance you're expecting today?
About 800 people totally.
Wow.
Yeah, 400 registered, and even with no shows and parents, etc., the crowd should swell to 800 at its peak.
Let's take advantage of talking to Sitare TV listeners. What do you want to tell them about this expo and how they should take advantage? Because this year, by the time this air, it will be over. So
Yeah,
maybe for next year.
Exactly. Okay. So once again, all I can say is if you are graduating from high school and if you're getting ready to apply to college, this is a golden opportunity for you. Folks, all this information you're going to get today is all free. You don't have to pay for anything. You get good guidance, which college, how to apply, how to improve your scores, all for free. So come next year.
I have a vendor here, and in fact, they do an awesome job of counseling the students. So we're going to ask Anthony, who's representing Flex College Prep. So Prep, it's a very suggestive name that it's a college preparation. So what kind of counseling and preparation you help the students with?
Okay, so our college counseling program is from 8th to 11th grade. And then for rising seniors, we have an application and college essay program. We also offer academic assistance, whether it's tutorials for their homework or ACT and SAT prep.
Okay, so you are at the venue where it's mainly for NRI, Indian community, and you know how Indian community is very well known for focusing on education, and they somehow before the kid is born they have planned for the kids. How are you influencing people through this expo, and what is your reaction or outcome out of this expo when you come here as a vendor?
Okay, so we have 4 centers. We have a center in Fremont, Almaden, Cupertino, and Los Altos. And so the expectation after this is we're collecting information, invite families in to get an understanding of what they're looking for. And we understand that some families will be in elementary school, some will be seniors looking for last minute application and college essay assistance. So it's really just get an understanding of what every family is looking for, because everybody will be different.
So as a vendor or as this organization whom you represent, what do you advise to our listeners? When should they start preparing or when should they connect with you to do a better job with their scores and entrance to a good university?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, our counseling program begins in 8th grade. And the reason for that is we work with families to create an academic profile that will target admittance to their dream college. So the sooner the better, that way we can start working on class selection, extracurricular profiles, so on and so forth.
Okay. So this is Anthony, and do you have a website where people can reach out to you?
It will be flexcollegeprep.com.
Okay, so it is flexcollegeprep.com. That was Anthony with us, and he is representing this organization at McDonald's Education Expo. So you can reach out to them for giving the right direction and making the right choices for the career after this expo too. Thank you, Anthony, for joining us.
Thank you.
What an honor to have a lady. Her career is everybody's dream to have, and people will like to exchange her career. I would like to. I have Vanila Singh with me on Sitare TV. Vanila, you told me you're doing so much of stuff. I want to give you this moment for you to introduce what you do and inspire a lot of people watching this event right now.
Great, thank you so much. Well, I'm Dr. Vanila Singh, and I am a physician at Stanford for the past 13 years in anesthesia and pain medicine. I am currently the Chief Medical Officer at the U.S. government in the Department of Health and Human Services for the past 4 months, and I deal with all U.S. broad-based health policy, and currently we're also working with the opiate epidemic as well as pain medicine best practice guidelines.
Wow. This is a fantastic fair, and you have gone through a period where education was challenging. Can you take me back to your days when you were selecting what to become and were making the right choices for your career? Did you get the help of expo like this?
Well, actually, so a long time ago, when I was looking into colleges, the University of California systems were actually under affirmative action. So even though it's challenging for Asians now, Asian Americans, it was very challenging then as well. And we were very concerned about what the tight requirements were. I didn't come to a wonderful expo like this, and I think our young kids should be very excited that they have this. But I would advise the kids to do this. Number one, do those things that you really love. So your CV is filled with things that you are passionate about. Think independently. Do not go into groupthink. Consider having a balanced approach with athletics, academics. When I went to Berkeley, which is where I ended up going, I did a second major in molecular biology, and my other major was economics. And I went on to do medicine at George Washington, my internship at Yale, and my residency and fellowship at Cornell in Manhattan. And then I started a career in academics at UCLA and then Stanford for the last few years. And all of that time, I will tell you, I have been passionate and very, very happy when I look back that the hard work, but also realizing that the path was my own, created by myself, and our young kids, I would hope, would trust their passion, work hard, have resilience, which is the capacity to overcome challenging things and go in and succeed in a very meaningful way.
Wow, what an advice to. I was about to ask you the question. Thank you for taking care of that question. What do you think about this expo? How it's going to influence because most of the time in NRI community or Indian background, it's the parents who help the kid to decide, and most of the time parents they give them the choices. So what do you want to take the parents from here with them and the students from here?
Well, I think that the beauty in America is that the kids should take the lead on this, because number one, in a lot of families, the kids are the ones who understand the system better, especially if it's first generation. And then an expo like this helps the parents know some of the system, but really it should be the children taking the lead, because you guys are already smart, you have amazing resources, you're whizzes at computers, but I'd also say open your mind, open your breath, don't limit yourself to just applying to what everyone else does. There's a world of amazing, great schools out there, and you should know that there's an amazing combination of things that you can do. Talk to people who are already in your field and work backwards. Find out maybe some options you didn't consider before.
Right. So for me, it's like this, that when your kid is about to go make a decision to go to the next level after the school, you have very limited resources and you work very hard. This is all coming to one place, and horizon is so big that you can explore a lot of things, discover a lot of undiscoverable, because you won't be available to you at ease. So I think thank you, and coming from you, it makes a lot of difference. We have once again pleasure to have Raj Sullivan from Fremont, the council member. Raj, welcome to Sitare TV.
Well, it's a pleasure and honor to be here, Jagruti.
Raj, what an event here. Especially California is the hub for technology, and a lot of our Indian diaspora as well as non-Indian people, they want to give the best to the students, but most of the people don't know how it works. What do you think about this expo? How exactly is going to influence the students?
Well, education is the great equalizer, and our community really values education. So programs such as this with India West and McDonald's and all the supporters that are here, I think they bring everybody together and they educate people on all the options available to them. And I think our kids are struggling to get more information, and it's great that we have all of this available in one spot rather than shopping around and trying to figure out who's good or who's not. And everybody's here on this platform.
Raj, you've been very active in the community. I see a lot of posts regarding education. Education being so expensive and not it's everybody's reach. As a council member, what is the step do you think we should take so the education, the higher education reaches to each and every person who's a California resident, or for that matter, everybody in US?
Well, education is what made my family what it is. My grandfather was a farmer, only did 4 years of education. And so that education allowed my parents to come here as doctors, and I was able to benefit from that. And so I think our city, our county, and our state needs to support education on all levels. I think we need to make it more accessible. We need to have more people educated, especially now the consideration is that a lot of these low-paying jobs will no longer be available. There'll be 20% of people that won't have jobs. And so we need to educate all aspects of our community so that they are continually employed, because that education allows the opportunity for a good paying job and self-fulfillment. So I think it's a great thing that we need to support.
Great avenue for parents also.
Definitely, yes, yeah.
And what do you want to tell to listeners of Sitare TV, how they can take a benefit of this expo, and how you as a council member are going to reach out to these parents to be helped after this event too?
Well, I think this is a great start. I think India West is doing fantastic. This is the 5th year they're doing it, and I think we need to continue to support these forums and make sure that they're easily available to our students. And I'll take this back and take it to my neighborhood, my community in Fremont, and make sure that more people have access to these programs that are offered here. Thank you.
Thank you, Raj, for joining us, and I hope you as a council member, as it is you are doing great, people reach out to you or this kind of expo and give the right direction. I underline right is right direction to the students rather than we just generating doctors and engineering. There are a lot of other venues.
Yes, we need all aspects of our profession. We need the carpenters, we need people fixing cars, so we need to have a wide array of education available to all the kids.
Met a group of vendors who are doing amazing job, and one of them is Ajit, who represents Insight Education. They prepare the kids for the journey, so he has to tell me that if it's a war, you need an armamentarium to fight the life. So they are the people to give the tools and armamentarium for handling the life war, right? Am I correct, Ajit?
Yes, we do traditional college admissions counseling, but our motto is apply to college, prepare for life. So what we believe in is that as important as it is to get into college and succeed educationally, kids also have to succeed in life, and we want to prepare them for success beyond college, in their personal lives, in their professional lives, in addition to, of course, getting into the right college and doing test prep, etc.
Wow. How is your organization different than a lot of vendors here?
I think the difference with us, we were founded in 1999. We've been here for a long time. We've worked on 20,000 college admissions essays in that time. We've worked with 2,000 seniors applying to college in addition to non-seniors as well. And the difference I really think that matters most, and I think this example will show that, is that we just attended the wedding of one of our former students. So we stay in touch with our students after they've graduated. They're our friends. We stay in touch with their parents. We become friends with our students as we're working with them. It's a very personal relationship. It's a one-on-one relationship, which means that as we're going through the process and getting to know each other, there's a trust that's being built. And once we trust one another, that helps us develop better applications, better essays, just a better overall presentation to the colleges.
What is your success rate?
So we don't work on success rates. Our goal is to work with kids on a one-on-one basis, identify what makes them all unique. I believe we succeed with every single student that works with us, but they all have very different needs. So we're not going around telling people this is how many kids got into one school or another, because we believe that can be easily manipulated and it can be easily falsified. So for us, our goal is to partner with the families and make sure that we're doing everything we can to satisfy their college admissions needs.
Great. How do people get in touch with you?
So they can check our website, which is www.insight-education.net, or they can call us at 408-252-5050. We have offices in Cupertino, Fremont, Santa Cruz, and Boston, Massachusetts.
So this was Ajit from Insight Education, existing from 1999, 18 years of experience behind them. So do connect with them, and thank you for joining us, Ajit, on Sitare TV.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
It's very nice to interview some people who make direct impact to the families. Me being first generation immigrant from India, I was clueless how the education is here. So it is not only helping so this organization UCEs is not only helping the kids or children, but it's also helping the first generation immigrants like me to get the right and clear of the whiteboard with what I brought here and write the new letters and new education to us. What a concept. UCEs, you are representing here in this company, in this exhibition, which is mainly targeted for education and helping the college kid. Can you briefly tell us what exactly do you do? Because you said you're impacting first generation, so I want to get impacted too.
So I'm a co-founder of this company. My name is Vinny Gupta, and I'm a first generation immigrant. I went to the best schools and colleges back in India. So did my wife. And she's a first generation as well. But when the time came for our kids to go into college, we realized that we thought we were really smart. None of that mattered in this country. We were like a fish out of water. From that experience, me and my co-founder, he was here a second back, we decided to start a company where other students from first generation immigrant families, that they do not go through the same anxiety as we do, and they are able to be the most competitive that they can be. So our focus is on first generation immigrant families, and we do three things. The first is to make that child the most competitive that child can be from college admission perspective. The second thing is that we educate the first generation parents on different elements of a US high school journey. Because otherwise, how would you compete? How would your student compete with a child from Mrs. and Mr. Smith if their families went through 8 generations of US high schools? We try to bridge that gap. The third thing we do is that we counsel the child on making school a successful journey. So unlike a lot of other people in this room, we are not only about college counseling, we are also about developing that whole child, a unique child from an immigrant family that will go to a top college.
Person who has sponsored this event and managing the sponsorship for this event is Flora with us. She represents a advertising agency which is doing this event for McDonald's. Am I correct, Flora?
Yes.
Flora, what a way of giving back to community. When you are helping McDonald's to do this education expo, how are you reaching out to the different diasporas in US, to promote education?
So we know that education is very important to the Asian American population in United States, especially for our segment. Over 70% of us are first generation immigrants, and we come to this country for better opportunities. So education is such a foundational, I think many parents believe that it's a foundation for the kids to succeed in this country. So the higher education system in Asia is very different from the system here. So in Asia, we have the national exam. As long as you score high, you can go to the school of your choice. But here, score is only one consideration. And the students also need to take care of other things, for example, leadership, a lot of other things. So we want to have this one-stop of workshop to have experts from different fields to share this kind of knowledge with the parents, as well as the kids, to help them really prepare for the exams here. You can only succeed if you know what is the rule of the game here. Otherwise, even you start very hard, you get 2,400 on SAT, it doesn't mean you can go to the school of your choice. So that's the reason we put this event together. It's our 10th anniversary for the program. We tour to different places of United States. For this particular year, we have 16 states to go to serve the community.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we believe McDonald's is not just a restaurant. We are in the people business. We want to help people to enjoy their life. We want to help people to achieve their dreams.
Wow. So McDonald's is giving back to community in the right way, and what a way to give in terms of education. Now, what's your goal? What does McDonald's get return, or what is their intake out of sponsoring this event?
So McDonald's has a scholarship program for the Asian American students.
Wow.
Yeah, and McDonald's is also a founding member of the first national Asian scholarship programs. So we want the students as well as the parents know that if you have a dream, there's a way to achieve that. So scholarship programs are available. So if you need help, we are more than happy to help.
So basically, McDonald's is in every part of the world, and they are making sure that each and every part of the world, whoever are there representing the country, are directly or indirectly affected by this expo, and take advantage of this expo, because it does not even help you to understand, but they also help you to make the right choice. And thank you for doing such a wonderful job of affecting our future, because as a first generation mom, I know how difficult it was even me to understand how the education system is here. So usually we learn from our kids, so this is a very different platform for us to learn directly what happens. Thank you, Flora, for joining Sitare TV. You want to say anything to the viewers of Sitare TV?
So if you missed the event today, don't worry, we put all the assets online, mcdonalds.com, so you can go online to enjoy the information.
There is one person I see, I don't know how he pops up everywhere. And always is there for the right community work. Amazing energy, a fantastic human being, and proud of every Indian, not only in Bay Area, world over. Ash Kalra, the assembly member. And what a work you've been doing. Accept our compliments, Ash, that you have been like rocking and rolling in terms of affecting community.
Well, I try to support everything the community is doing, and I think it's a good sign that I'm all over the place, because the community is doing so much right now. And so, this is an example today of what the community is doing to really reach out to folks, to help and to serve, and at the same time entertain. And I think that our community doesn't have a problem with the entertaining part. I think that now we really come into our own in terms of serving the community, serving the youth, and serving a broad coalition with a broad coalition of other folks too. It's been great.
Ash, you have done some fantastic work which is noticed by every American on the earth. Okay, you've been affecting. But for this event, especially, I want to ask you, as Indians, and there are a lot of things said about Indians. Even your parents would have said that you have to become either a doctor or engineer, two choices. But the things have changed. Indian representation has been in every field, whether it's a stand-up comedy, entertainment, movies, everything, even civil engineering, architect, everything. What do you think this education fair will impact, and what do you want to tell to people who will be listening to you? What is this education fair expected to help people?
One of the things that I always say, especially when I speak to students who are Indian American or their parents, is our parents and grandparents worked very hard for us to be here. And I think the greatest wealth that you can give your children is really options, right? And so today should be about options. And what that means is not only about getting into a good school or how do you apply for college, really is what are you passionate about, and how do we make sure that you're on the right path to achieve all you can following your passion. That is the great gift given to us by prior generations. Is yes, being a doctor and engineer, if that's your passion, that's great. I understand why our parents pushed us in that direction, because it's the sciences that really help create a foundation for so many of our families. There's no language or cultural barrier when it comes to science, when it comes to math and medicine. But now that we're here, those of us that have grown up here, really the whole world has been opened up to us. And you're seeing us take advantage of that. You're seeing Indian Americans in the media, even mainstream, like NBC Barry, you have Raj Mathai, and you have other anchors and what have you. You're seeing Indian Americans in entertainment as journalists. You're seeing them in the business world, of course, but also you're starting to see them in the political world. And I think that's really the sign of maturity of our community, is that sense of public service. And you're seeing a lot of folks starting to dedicate their lives to that, and that's a beautiful thing.
Wow. Ash, a quick question, if you want to share it on television. As a student, what challenges you had to make choice, and if this kind of fair would have been available to you, do you think you would have made some different choice? But good, you did make a different choice. So let me also tell you, because we want you to be here as a politician. But as a student, what challenges you faced?
Look, at the end of the day, it's not about what choices I did or didn't make. There's always things you can do better. And I think I wish I had a fair like this to really help guide me more, because our parents, as much as they tried, they're not experts in this field, right? Especially if they went to school in India, what have you. It's a different world here in terms of going to high school here and the different things you're exposed to, the kind of education you're exposed to, applying for college and what have you. That's why this kind of fair is so important, because we have experts here who are going to guide our young people, guide their parents to make sure that they don't miss any steps, make sure that what they do is as efficient as possible. Because that's with me, I'm very satisfied with my education. I do think I could have done things more efficiently. And I think a fair like this could have helped me make decisions in a more timely fashion, understand my path. I would have followed the same path, but I think there would have been less obstacles in the way if we had fairs like this when I was growing up.
I have a question for you. What do you want to tell India West Group and McDonald's for arranging this expo?
Well, India West has been a part of my life and so many Indian Americans' lives for decades. I remember growing up and getting India West, and that was really the knowledge that I was getting about the Indian community, including what was happening in India and around this country. And so I'm just so grateful to India West, because India West is part of our culture. I mean, it's really part of the Indian American fabric, and you can't think about our community without India West. The fact that they leave the four corners of their paper to come out into the community is very commendable. I think that they're really trying to make an effort to not just inform, but in this case, educate, and for that I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Ash, for joining us on Sitare TV, and we want to see you more and more in the assembly and even in the center. Thank you for positively impacting our lives.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Already in the education flow, and they are already grown-up kids taking advantage of education to go to the next level. This is Jagrati covering McDonald's Education Expo, organized by India West in ICC on Sunday. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this coverage.